What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/entitled parents. This story is called Racist Entitled Mom Makes a Scene During Our School Trip Dinner. I attended a boarding school last year. The school was mostly filled with Mexican, Chilean, and Korean students. I had just turned 15 at the time of the story, but I have been mistaken for an older guy before. We had just returned from our weekend trip, and we stopped at a restaurant for dinner. We had an arrangement with the people there where we reserved a whole room with tons of tables so that we could eat and enjoy ourselves without making too much noise or annoying other customers. So we ordered what we wanted to eat and went to sit in our room. We were being taken care of by 4 young adults. I decided to sit at a lone table near the door and eat while reading a book. I'm not much of a social person. While we were eating, a woman arrived in the room. She looked a bit angry. I have no idea why. She entered, grabbing her kid by the wrist, and sat at a table in the room. We were all weirded out by it, but we kept quiet and kept eating. After a while, the responsible adult started organizing a couple of games, and we even started singing in Spanish. The woman in the room seemed angrier. She stood up and walked up to me. This is the conversation that followed. "Excuse me, Mexican? Are you talking to me? Do you understand English?" I had already answered in English. Why the hell would she ask that? And what was up with the talking slow? But I put on a friendly face and said that I did. "Great. Hey, so I noticed your kids are being quite loud, don't you think? Couldn't you maybe keep the silence? Some of us are trying to eat." They are actually not my... "Or you shut them up or I'll call the manager." But you see, I'm not the one... Are all of you in your country that stupid? Come with me. Before I had time to process what happened, she grabbed me by my wrist and pulled me up to one of the adults, Mr. Banderas, the youngest one of them, who was being quite loud. "Now break the group apart. Is there anything I can help you with?" At this point, I wouldn't know how she could mistake him as being younger than me, but this woman turned out to be pretty damn stupid. "Yes, you could obey your superior here and shut up." Mr. Banderas gave me a puzzled look. I could only give him another one in reply. "Ma'am, I think there's been a little misunderstanding. He's not the superior. I am. You aren't even supposed to be here." Such insolence! Who are you, kid, to tell me what to do? I'll call the manager. Which was pretty ironic, since he was standing right behind her, although he couldn't hear the commotion. The room was soundproof, another reason why we stayed there. Anyway, he had been notified by the staff member who served her that she was in the room. As soon as she turned around, he said, "Excuse me, I'll kindly ask you to leave the room, ma'am." "What? How dare you? I want to speak to the manager." "The tag I have will tell you I am the manager and I'm asking you to leave." "You're kicking me out instead of these Mexican rats who took the room all for themselves?" "These sweet kids are some of my most important clients. They get the room because they reserved it. There's a big sign on the door that says such. I'm just asking you to look for another place, but if you wish, I can kick you out of the restaurant myself." The woman started screaming and shouting curses, saying that she wouldn't come back to this infested place and such. Some racist comments included. She stormed out of the restaurant and into her car and left. Situation solved, right? Karen aborted. Well, not quite. She stormed out of the place all right, but her kid was still in the room with us. The kid seemed scared and started crying. I went up to him together with a friend from Saudi Arabia. We talked to him, and he explained that his family was divorced and her mom was quite crazy. He wanted to live with his dad, but the mom had done all in her power to keep him from doing it. We both felt sorry for him and bought him an ice cream for dessert while we figured out how to contact the mom. That wasn't necessary though. The woman came back half an hour later, screaming, "Get away from my son, filthy Muslim!" My friend seemed taken aback by the comment. He's Catholic. The woman grabbed her son and went outside again, and I could hear part of the discussion about how she didn't like that he talked with that kind of people and him telling her that we were really nice. She was just being mean. So that was my first encounter with a Karen, and a really racist one at that, but it wouldn't be the last one I would have during my stay in the US. I just hope that little kid is okay. I can't imagine having a mom like that. It feels weird saying Muslim like Muslim. It's just, However, that is the correct way to say it according to Islamophobes, so gotta stick to the role, you know what I mean? But goodness, let us revel in this woman's, just disgustingness. Reveling complete. Shower needed. Onward, chaps. This story's called Karens Have Found Build-A-Bear. So 2 weeks ago, I posted a story in the Entitled Kids subreddit about the biggest tantrum I've seen at a Build-A-Bear. For those unaware, Build-A-Bear is the coolest store ever to be created. Customers come in, pick an unstuffed, furry friend, fill them up, get to add a heart, dress them up, and even name them. I had mentioned that I haven't had a run-in with a Karen, until now. Now, most parents are rather patient and kind when they're in Build-A-Bear. They understand that it takes time to fill the bears up, and if you want to add extra stuffers like sounds, that will also take time. Now, on to the story. Here's the cast. Me, a magical space fairy princess. Cinderella, one of my managers. Aurora, another manager. Charming coworker. Karen, the evil queen. Little girl. Karen's daughter. Currently, at the time of writing this, we have a special going on in honor of National Hug Day. Our national teddy bear is only $5. We also have a buy one, get one of a buy one, get one for $10, and a special concerning our gift cards where you can get a $10 for $5. However, like all sales, there are stipulations. National Teddy cannot be part of the buy one, get one, and if you buy a gift card that day, you can't use it on your current purchase. Seems simple enough, right? So everything was going rather smoothly. We were extremely busy, but we had 2 people working in the stuffer and 2 people working in the cash register. Everything is fine until Karen arrived. Now, little girl was fine, just extremely shy. She came up with the national teddy bear and wanted to get a sound. So at Build-A-Bear, we have these fancy computers where you can record anything up to 20 seconds. I noticed that little girl was getting an Elsa outfit. We sell a lot of Disney stuff for her bear, and I suggested that she listen to the Frozen songs we offer. I suggested Into the Unknown, but Karen interrupted me, asking if we had Show Yourself. I explained that we didn't, but we could record it. This is where Karen started becoming picky, like extremely picky. I pull the song up on Spotify and go to the chorus. Lil girl is fine with it, but Karen starts complaining that it's not the right part of the chorus. No biggie, I can find what part she's looking for. So we record the sound and Lil girl is happy. So I do my thing, stuff up the bear, perform a heart ceremony, and send the family on their way. All should be good, right? Nope! Less than a minute later, Karen returns with the bear. She's complaining about the sound chip. Now, I was confused because I tested the chip and we could hear it. Karen apparently has bad ears, but this is no issue. Cinderella opens up the bear, ready to try a new chip. However, when Cinderella goes to fill the bear back up, Karen stops her. Are you sure that's okay? Now, the thing about Build-A-Bear is that no matter how long you have your bear, you can bring it back to us and we can fix it if something happens. I've had people ask me to restuff the bear or add a scent, so bear surgery is something we do on the regular. Karen tries to explain this to Karen, but Karen isn't having it, saying the bear is compromised. Not sure what that means, but Karen demands to get another bear. Weird, but no problems there. However, she starts getting even pickier. Cinderella feels up the bear, but Karen says it's too stiff. Cinderella takes out stuffing, but now it's soft. She goes back and forth on this until finally, she lets Cinderella sew up the bear. So now Karen should be on her merry way, right? Wrong again! She then wants Cinderella to dress the bear up in a different Elsa dress because she wants to compare them. Keep in mind, we're close to closing. I'm cleaning up, Charming is stuffing, and the only people who are ringing up people are Aurora and Cinderella. Aurora was busy sewing up another bear, so Cinderella was the only person who could ring up purchases. Karen was purposefully wasting her time. Then, Karen leaves only to return. Turns out that Cinderella accidentally put in the old chip. Okay, so Cinderella admits this mistake, but Karen is once again being really nitpicky and wouldn't stop asking questions. Now, Cinderella has been nothing but polite to this woman. All of us have been polite. Not a single rude word was spoken to this woman. So when she had this little outburst, it took us by surprise. Why is this my fault? No one said it was your fault. Is there a reason why you're taking an attitude with me? No one is taking an attitude with you. I'm pretty confused at this point, but Karen is asking for our regional manager's name, which we don't know, and then asks for our manager's name. Then she starts complaining about Cinderella, acting as if Cinderella had done something awful, saying this entire experience was unpleasant. Again, I'm confused because we've just done our jobs and been our nice, sweet selves. Not to mention, Karen once more demands we give her a brand new bear instead of sewing it up. Granted, we can reuse the other bears, but come on, lady. Then she badmouths Cinderella to Charming while he's filling up her third bear. When we're closing up, Cinderella clues me and Charming into why Karen was acting the way she was. So not only did Cinderella not do every single thing Karen wanted her to do, but she was angry that neither Cinderella nor Aurora would allow her to stack the specials we offer. So here's the thing, we can't do that. If our higher-ups tell us about a sale and tell us there are items that aren't included in the sale, we have to abide by that. Common sense, right? Not to mention, if they found out, we could get into trouble and possibly go to jail. Yeah, it's considered fraudulent or something. So Karen was angry that we wouldn't break the rules for her. We even texted our boss about this, and she told us what we could and couldn't do. Needless to say, Cinderella handled the whole thing like a champ, but I'm pretty sure this woman might return. If she does, I'll post an update. Man, you guys have got to appreciate the amount of patience required to work a retail job like that. Is that considered retail? Regardless, the patience required for jobs like that is mind-numbing, and I am so glad to be out of that line of work. Holy crap. Now, I get over things relatively quickly, but there's still that initial going through things to get over them, and I'm sure we can all agree that there are just some customer interactions that are just an absolute pain to get through. Holy crap. And there's hardly any reward from going through it, so it's just not worth it. Other than for the character building or whatever, but honestly, it just made me hate people. This story's called, "You Are So Greedy for Not Giving Our Child Your Food." A little preface. I think, at this point, I could tell a bunch of stories about my entitled parent roommates and their kid. Ultimately, I don't think the kid is that bad. He does have behavioral problems, but his parents very poorly handle them. Even though he is 9 years old, his adopted mother argues with him constantly and has since he was a toddler. They also refuse to take responsibility for anything he does or breaks, unless it is something of theirs. I am pretty sure their kid is one of the reasons I put up with their crap in particular. However, their bad habits and an overwhelming sense of entitlement are turning him into a spoiled brat. They also receive government assistance, EBT. I do not. By no means, so I add this to be disparaging, so much as to point out that they have a much larger food budget. They not only use EBT, but cash. Anyway, last night, we both ordered pizzas. We paid for all our own orders. I figure I would order a large pizza for myself. I had just gotten back from a trip, and I still haven't done any adequate grocery shopping. So I figure one large pizza will last my broke ass a few days until payday. I won't have to go grocery shopping or even waste money on even more takeout. They ordered the same. There are 3 of them, 1 of me. They also have a bunch of snacks and a decently stocked pantry and fridge. I had a box of cereal, a Brita pitcher full of water, and some crackers, which, by the way, they went through and ate half of because the entitled mom is diabetic and needs to snack. Her reasoning, not mine. Not surprisingly, the 3 of them dusted off their pizza that night. I only had 2 pieces, then another piece for breakfast before work. I come home for them to tell me they gave their kid some of my pizza because he was hungry, didn't want to eat anything else. I confronted the father or husband about this, who only thought to tell me while talking about just how much their son ate. He was surprised I was upset because I had a whole pizza, and I really wasn't gonna eat it all by myself. It happened while I was at work, so I couldn't really do anything. Tonight, he refused to eat dinner, save for a baked potato, and he was still hungry. He then proceeded to shoot down the numerous suggestions on what else to eat, including their dinner once again. He then proceeded to announce he wanted pizza. I wasn't even eating pizza at the time. Another thing they like to do is get mad at me for eating better food that their kid likes anywhere he can see. He asks me for pizza. I straight up tell him, no, that's my dinner. You already took a piece without permission. He proceeds to throw a tantrum. To me, then his parents, who then approach me.
Hey, can kid have some pizza? He's really hungry.
I already told him, no, I don't have anything else to eat besides that pizza, and you already gave him one without even texting me to ask.
Well, he doesn't want to eat anything else, and it's just sitting there in the fridge.
Where else is it supposed to be? Entitled mother says to kid, you know, you have chicken, mac and cheese, cereal, cookies, ice cream. No, I want pizza.
Come on, you don't need that whole pizza. It's my pizza. Come on, kid. She doesn't want to give you pizza. She's being greedy and she's gonna scarf down a whole pizza by herself.
I left it at that. They left it at that. But regardless, I was surprised by how he acted like I was the bad guy for not bending to their whims, especially given that they had one hell of a habit of stealing my food, and right after Christmas, I was helping buy them food and stuff like milk and bread that they never paid me back for, and I'm the greedy one. How do people end up with roommates like these? Like, do any of you guys have any good stories of roommates that were actually very good and helpful and they did their part in maintaining the household and all that? And I know I read only entitled people stories and stuff like that, but honestly, I've only ever heard bad things about roommates, so that's kinda ugh. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.